Happy Wednesday, guys! Can you believe we're already halfway through the week? I'm actually grateful because I've got a busy weekend coming up, so there's some things I need to get taken care of. Today, I don't have a Watermarble Wednesdays to share because I actually wanted to share these polishes with you from since last year, but I just didn't have the energy and I didn't have a lot of time to do it, but I finally sat down and got them done. So last year I went to this event in Canada, in Toronto, actually, called Expo Canada, and I had purchased my VIP ticket, and I'm gonna share the polishes that were in the VIP bag with you, so keep on watching. The first polish that I have to share with you is called A Rose is a Rose by Tootsie Polishes. This is a scattered hollow rose Girly. It is absolutely gorgeous with such a smooth formula and had very good coverage. It's such a lovely girly color, and I will say that it had a really good drying time between coats and built to full opacity very nicely. There was still some slight visible nail line for me personally at 2 coats, so I did use 3 coats to get a decent coverage. And here's a look at Tootsie Polishes, A Rose is a Rose. Look at how gorgeous this is. So this is 3 coats, and then of course I applied my glossy top coat on top. I just love the hollow in this. It's so pretty, so girly, and I can't wait to wear this more. The next polish that I have to share with you guys is from a brand called Beyond the Nail, and the name of the polish is called Cherry Peach. This is a gorgeous peach curly with bright orange flakies, and as you can see, the flakies are super prominent and just really pretty, especially in the bottle itself. I did find that this had a really good coverage, smooth formula, and it had really nice drying time in between the coats. I only had to use 2 coats for this one, and I did find that it did get a bit darker when I went outside and got some sun exposure, so I'm not sure if that was just my bottle or what happened, but that is what happened. So I applied this flawlessly with just 2 thin coats. And here we have a final look at Beyond the Nail Cherry Peach. As I said, this is 2 coats with a glossy top coat. The orange flakies, guys, so gorgeous, and they stand out so much against the base. It is super pretty. Look at how glossy and smooth the finish is. I did, as I mentioned before, have some change in the color when I went out in the sun, so I'm not sure if that is supposed to happen or if that was just my bottle of polish. Not sure what happened there though. This polish is called Keju. I really hope that I'm pronouncing it properly and I actually didn't butcher that. This is a lovely green polish with red and blue flecks. I honestly was unsure about it in the bottle because greens for me are kind of like hit or miss. I either like them or I don't like them. But to be honest, once I got it on my nail, I actually liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to. I will say that the first coat, the application itself was a bit sheer, and I was thinking that it was going to take a few coats to get it fully opaque, but with my surprise, it built better than I had expected and had a very good drying time in between coats. This polish only needed 2 thin coats for full opacity. And here we have a final look at Fiendish Fancies Keju. As I said, I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that properly, so I really hope that I am. Here we have it in 2 thin coats, and of course topped off with a glossy top coat. And like I said, I actually really did like this more on my skin tone than when I saw it in the bottle, so I'm very pleased with this one. Next is Painted Pretty Polish, only at Expo. This is a lovely purple polish with blue, pink, and aqua sparks throughout. As you guys may know, I am going to love this just because it's purple and it's my favorite color. So this one I had a slightly sheer application, but with that being said, it is still very, very pretty. The formula was smooth, built nicely, and had a good drying time in between coats. I did find that it did dry a bit on the matte side, but that's nothing that some top coat can't help fix. Such a gorgeous purple polish. My coats were done in 3 thin coats. And here's a final look at Paint It Pretty polishes, only at Expo. Such a gorgeous purple polish, guys. I totally love this one. Don't be surprised if you see me using this as a base in the future for some nail art. Here it is shown in 3 thin coats, and of course topped off with a glossy top coat. So pretty. This is Alter Ego Polish Poised Heroine. This is a dark purple jelly with burnt orange micrometallic flakes. Absolutely love this one because of course it's purple, and just how deep and vampy this purple is makes my heart skip beats. I just love it so much. This had a sheer application as most jelly polishes do, but the coverage was still very acceptable. It had very great flaky payoff between brush strokes and built to full opacity very nicely. It also had a very good drying time between coats. I got this to be fully opaque with 3 thin coats. And here's a final look at Alter Ego Polish Poised Heroine. Guys, I love this. Of course I may like it more just because it's purple, but I mean, look at the way that the burnt orange micro metallic flakes just stand out against the purple jelly base. I love vampy purples like this. So glad to have this in my collection. Up next is Ever After Polish Seaweed Facials. This is a neon lime green squishy cream polish with crystal flakes, micro flakes, and a hint of green shimmer. This is going to be such a fun and gorgeous polish to wear for the summer, especially seeing as it has that neon vibe to it. This did have a sheer application, and I will say that the color for me personally is very pretty. I don't usually like bright greens like this, but this one I had to make an exception for. The coverage was great with great drying time between coats, and as I said, built to full opacity very nicely. Shown is 3 thin coats. And here's a final look at Ever After Polish Seaweed Facials. Look at how this looks with the top coat, guys. I mean, super squishy, really gorgeous, and I can just see how much fun this would be to wear in the summertime. And I bet you that the flakies would stand out even more if a matte top coat was applied. Second last polish that I have to share with you is from Girly Bits Cosmetics, and this is called Very Important Polish. This is a teal shimmer polish with purple or pink flash. So gorgeous. I can actually say I don't own anything like this in my collection, so I was very pleased to get this in the VIP bag. As with majority of the polishes in this bag, the formula was very smooth, had good coverage. This one is super pretty, especially with all that shimmer throughout, and It had a great drying time between coats and built to full opacity very nicely. I got this to be very opaque with just 2 thin coats. And here's a final look at Girly Bits Cosmetics, very important polish. Look at how this just sparkles with the top coat on, guys. It's so pretty. I know that we're in summer and nowhere near Christmas, but honestly, I guarantee you this would be fantastic for some type of Christmas nail art. And the last polish I'll be sharing with you today is from Colors by Laro, and it's called You Like A. This is a fuchsia polish with micro hollow flakes and a strong blue flash. I adored this when I took it out of the bag and seen it. It is absolutely like nothing I have in my collection, and it is just so pretty. I am in love with it, and I can definitely see myself reaching for this for some nail art, or even to use as a base in my nail art. I was able to get it to be fully opaque in 2 coats, as with all the other polishes, smooth, good coverage, and built nicely with great drying time in between coats, and it was actually almost a 1 coater. And here's a final look at Colors by Laro, You Like A, with a glossy top coat. Guys, look at the hollow flakes in this polish. It is so sparkly, so juicy looking. I am so glad I have this because I literally have nothing like this in my collection, so this makes me excited. And that's it for all of the great polishes that were in my Indie Expo Canada 2018 VIP bag. I honestly find it very hard to choose a favorite. They're all so gorgeous and super pretty. Do you have a favorite? If you do, let me know in the comments down below. Unfortunately, these were all limited edition polishes, but you know what? Keep your eyes open for anyone that does any destashes, because you might be able to find it there, and someone might be selling it, so you never know. As always, thank you so much for tuning in, and especially for sticking with me with this longer video than usual. I do greatly appreciate it, and as always, guys, stay glamorous.